Hello, welcome back to AJM Learn. Today, I'm going to show you how to add a cookie banner to your Squarespace site. Something they finally released, one of those things that took them way too long, but now we have it. So I'll show you how to add it and then also show you how to edit it with CSS. Okay, so on your site, back end, go to website pages, scroll down to website tools, and then you'll see cookies and visitor data here. From here, you would toggle on that cookie banner. You have a few options here. So depending on the legality, definitely do your research. There's a guide right here about what you need. You can have just the accept button or the accept and decline button. It could be a bar or a pop-up. I'm going to keep mine as a bar for now. A couple other options, I detailed this in the post as well. You can disable cookie analytics, analytics cookies until someone accepts. You could also choose to disable it always. You could always include, not include activity log data in analytics. So this just depends on what the legality of where you live and what your website does and all these things. So make sure to do the research there. But I'll mostly focus on the design. So this is set up. You'll need to click save before it's going to let you come into customize. So I've decided I want the bar, I want the two buttons. Now I want to customize. The bar can go on the top or bottom. Note, I put this in the post. If you're still in your free trial, you won't be able to see the bar unless you exit out of this publisher site thing at the bottom. So got to get rid of that. It took me a second. I'm like, where in the world is this bar? You can toggle between light and dark mode, which, might as well choose kind of what you want. But this is the only style, like color settings they have. So we'll edit this with CSS. You can check, do you want this to be text or buttons? Text is nice, a bit more minimal. Buttons obviously more obvious, makes the bar a little bit bigger. Change the text of what's in the buttons, accept, decline. And then your disclaimer text is literally the text in the bar. So everything's pretty straightforward there. Let me save and back out. If you chose the pop-up instead of the bar, you would have, of course, it makes you save. And then you'll have similar options, but you can move it in the corners of the site. So I'd probably do bottom right personally. Again, you can toggle between light and dark, text button, etc. All these are the same. So I'm going to go back. I'm kind of personally more into the bar. So let me go back here. And especially if you already have a pop-up on the site, I would say go with the cookie bar, and the pop-up could be maybe like in the middle or like bottom right corner. Anyway, that's how we set it up. Okay, let's do some custom CSS. So copying this directly from the description or the post itself. So first, changing the banner color. I'm pasting this over, so there we go. I'll go ahead and tell you, I just chose a lot of my brand colors, so this is not going to look good, but it's just an obvious example showing you how they change. This is one where you will definitely need a lot of these important tags. It really needs to override those internal settings, so those are important to keep there. You would, of course, just change the hex code here as needed. So that changes the background color of the banner. Next, if you want to change the text color, size, all of that. So just kind of reformatting because I'm OCD and pasting makes it crazy. So your color is here. This one seemed to need the important tag. This one was fine without when I was working on it. So font size, you can change the font size. Like anything else, you can do anything that targets the font here. So you could say, now I'm of course, blanking on everything that has ever happened on CSS in my entire life. You could do text transform uppercase. Let's see if we need, okay, worked without the important tag. So any text-based CSS you can add in here. You could certainly do font with, if I could type it correctly, font family, let's say we want it to be Helvetica. It seems like that changed it. Sometimes these are always a little bit tricky with case sensitivity and stuff. But the other thing is not all font families work. It's kind of confusing, but you could technically put that in here. Okay. Next, this jumps into the buttons themselves. So if we want to change the styling of the buttons, first is the accept button. So what we have in here is the background color, so the fill of the button. We have the border, so you could just, if you don't want the border, you can literally just remove that. It does already have the white border, so you could, actually, let's see. Actually haven't tried to remove the border completely. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it does. So you could do that, remove the border completely. And then color, that's always the color of the font itself. So you can change the color of the text. The decline button, pretty much the exact same, except for the selector, of course, is a bit different. By the way, I mean, these have been pretty easy to find. Right click, inspect, and it takes you right to it. So like this is where I found those selectors. So pretty simple. Again, you can, of course, so it's kind of nice because you could style these differently if you wanted maybe the decline one or the accept one to stand out more. Like maybe you flip-flopped all of this, like maybe, something like this. Up to you. This obviously looks insane, but you get the point. Another one that's kind of obviously optional, but I really like to do, I'll need to make a change on this one. Well, let's see. So I like to do like a line above this because I don't know, I think it just gives a more obvious divider between it and the rest of the page. So right now I have this like turquoise color. So you have your style, which we've done solid. You could get real crazy and do like dotted or something. The width, if you want to make it thicker, you can always do that. And then here, of course, is the color. We could just, well, that doesn't really help us because I have a dark mode site. So we could go with that. I could like be less crazy here and, start to look a little less off the walls. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. Real quick, if you decide to put your banner on the top, all you need to do is change this instead of top, change it to bottom, and that white line will switch to the bottom. You can look up, like just Google border styles, and if you wanted there be a border all the way around, if you were doing a pop-up, super easy CSS to edit there as well. Okay, that's it. They gave us no site styles, no settings, no colors, no anything for this. We appreciate, the ability to add it, but we want it to look on brand. So now you can. Hope you enjoy.